The storm rolled over the countryside, thunder rattling the windows of the Harrington estate. The old mansion, with its stone towers and sprawling halls, stood like a fortress in the night. Inside, candles flickered across the long dining table, illuminating the family of 8 gathered for Edward Harrington's 75th birthday. The air was thick with wine and tension. Edward Harrington sat at the head of the table, his cane propped against the chair, eyes sharp beneath bushy brows. "This family," he announced, lifting his glass, "owes me everything, and soon I'll be making adjustments to my will. Fair adjustments." His words sliced sharper than the storm outside. Daniel, the eldest son, nearly choked on his drink. Adjustments? Meaning what exactly? Edward's wife, Margaret, shot him a look. "Not the time, Daniel." But Evelyn, the youngest, leaned forward, smirking. "Of course it's the time. Father, if you're rewriting the will, we all deserve to know where we stand." "Sit down, Evelyn," Edward snapped. "You'll get what you deserve." A bitter silence followed. Clara, the widowed daughter, shifted uncomfortably. James, quiet as ever, stirred his food but said nothing. Thomas, the nephew, forced a smile that didn't reach his eyes. At the far end sat Detective Samuel Harrington. Unlike the others, his posture was controlled, unreadable. He watched the storm lash against the windows, as though measuring something no one else could see. Dinner ended with forced pleasantries. Edward excused himself to his study, cane tapping across the marble. Hours later, a crash echoed from the west wing. Margaret was the first to scream. They found Edward slumped in his leather chair, his brandy untouched, a knife buried deep in his chest. His lifeless eyes stared at the storm through the rain-slicked windows. "No forced entry," Samuel said immediately, crouching by the body. His tone was calm, unnervingly calm. This was someone in the house. The siblings exchanged wide-eyed looks. Samuel locked the estate down. "No one leaves until I find who did this." He moved through the mansion like a predator, interrogating each sibling in turn. Daniel confessed debts that could swallow him whole. "He was going to cut me off completely," he muttered, trembling. "But I didn't kill him." Clara's eyes were red with tears. "I needed his help for the children. He promised me support. Why would I destroy the only lifeline I had?" Evelyn admitted she'd fought with Edward. "He said I wasn't worthy of his name, but if I killed him I wouldn't be stupid enough to leave the damn knife in his chest." Thomas bristled with resentment. "Raised me, yes. Loved me, no. I was always the outsider, always the spare." And James? James simply stared into the distance. "You don't ask questions you don't want answers to," he said flatly, then refused to say more. Samuel unearthed other clues. A trail of muddy footprints leading from the terrace, a torn letter in Edward's desk, the words "cut off completely," barely legible. Evelyn's diamond necklace missing from her room. Daniel sneaking into the wine cellar after the murder. Everywhere Samuel turned, suspicion grew. But Clara noticed something no one else did. When they'd first found Edward's body, Samuel had entered the study first. The door had been locked from the inside. How had he opened it so quickly?